Okay, so this clip from the outskirts of Moscow a few days ago actually goes to show how dangerous lightning can be. Check this. So this lightning strike struck very close to this woman here, and actually, the lightning did burn her feet. So thanks to Richard Trott here for actually sharing this video and tagging me. Just remarkable scene indeed, like I say, from a thunderstorm near Moscow a few days ago. Thanks for clicking on to the Monday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. So much to cover, but of course, before we get into the video, please like and share with your friends and family, as well as that. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it, getting ever closer to the 5,000 subscribers. So yeah, give us a little sub if you haven't and you're interested in weather, as well as that, climate also. Did you check out the 49th edition of the Global Weather and Climate Report yesterday? If you haven't, it's available. If you look at the Global Weather Report playlist, that is now available and released yesterday afternoon. A lot of stuff in that, and I want to just cover a few things that I didn't have the chance to show you yesterday with regards to stuff that's going on around the planet at the moment here. So we did look at the UAH temperature. We did look at the current temperature anomaly for around the planet as of the 8th, 9th of July. We looked back a little bit at June also, but I didn't get the chance to share everything with you, so I want to take the opportunity in today's video, before we look at the UK and Europe, I want to look at some of the things that have been going on around the planet at this moment in time. Now, I want to emphasize the point with you folks that I'm sharing things with you, showing you stuff that may be controversial in your opinion, whether you're pro or against the idea of human induced climate change. If you've been on this channel for long enough, you'll know my stance when it comes to stuff, and I try to have as much of a middle ground as possible. But of course, there will always be people that are slightly upset by what's been shown or what's been shared, either side of the argument. And I just want to emphasize that point, that I'm only showing you what I'm being shown myself. I'm not an expert. I'm not even an expert when it comes to climate or weather, should I say, sorry, but also climate. I don't truly understand it all myself to have a true proper opinion, but I'm very much of the belief that anything that we're seeing today has happened in the past, and I do think that it's a lot of stuff is cyclical. There will be an element that CO2 or man is impacting climate. Of course, cities are bigger than ever they've ever been. That is naturally going to have an impact on temperature and whatnot. But of course, what's causing the oceans to be as warm as we've ever seen? But of course, we don't know what has been, thousands of years in the past. And of course, I'm a great believer that what we're seeing today is nothing really that new, if I'm being honest. So I just wanted to re-emphasize that point, because I do read the comments and I do see some people kind of jumping quickly with regards to stuff. And yeah, anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Extreme temperatures around the world. This is Maximiliano Herrera's Twitter feed, a fantastic source of information. Every week, of course, I refer to this particular Twitter page, and a lot of interesting things on a daily basis. If you haven't already done so, do check him out. So the temperature for the month of June, average wise, was 29.9 Celsius, which is actually slightly above the 81 to 2010 average. Probably, if you were to look at the most recent climate period for the last 30 years, it probably would have actually been below average, but it's shown here for the 81 to 2010 normal, it's slightly above average. The 7th hottest June on record. It was cooler and it was wetter the northwest, and it was drier and indeed hotter the further south and east you went over India, which is quite interesting here. Serbia slightly below average for the month of June here. This is going to be a very quick skip through. We had a full degree warmer than average for Reunion Island, of course. That is home to some of the wettest conditions anywhere on the planet. Third warmest June on record here, and we had 40% less rainfall compared to average. Thailand, it was 0.7 above average here with 18% below average rainfall. Record breaking temperatures, of course, across parts of China, especially the south and the east. Remember what I showed you in yesterday's video, that actually below average, in the southwest and the western portion of the country here. Very, very hot conditions. It has been a torrid time across many parts of Canada. We have seen record breaking temperatures up in the Arctic region of Canada, and also we have seen temperatures, minimum temperatures that is, in parts of Algeria at 820 meters above sea level, an incredible minimum of 35.6 Celsius. So very, very hot nights as well as daytime, but you would expect to see 45 to 50 Celsius, of course, at this time of the year in the Sahara Desert, of course. And trying to skip through here just to quickly show you what I intended to show you yesterday. It was quite a warm June, of course, across Portugal, fifth warmest on record. We've had endless heat and drought conditions across parts of the Caribbean in recent times also. And have we covered everything here? Not only Spain, but also Eastern Europe, Eastern European Russia, also seeing very hot conditions, 42 Celsius achieved in parts of Russia. And 45 to 50 Celsius near the coast. Nighttime temperatures 30, 35, even close to 40 Celsius. Africa, by the way, now it didn't go below 39 point something, somewhere in Algeria, but there has been some reports showing that it's quite an unreliable placement of the thermometer close to, I believe, asphalt or tarmac or concrete or whatever. So that's quite interesting. But it was, according to some sources, the warmest overnight minimum temperature ever recorded in the African continent. We also had, like I said, 37.9 Celsius recorded at a latitude of 65.2 north at Norman Wells in northwest Canada. That is the warmest temperature for that latitude, I believe, on record. It's only shy of the world record of Verkhoyansk in Russia. That is the record holder for such a northerly latitude. Of course, we've had some record cool temperatures across parts of South Africa, and I think I've kind of covered everything. Record breaking warmth, of course, across parts of Antarctic. I'm kind of skipping through because this is not technically a global weather and climate report. Deluges and record heat in parts of Japan. We've seen upwards of 6 hour, within a 6 hour period, we had amounts of 200 millimeters or near 200 millimeters of rainfall in some parts of Japan, and also nighttime minimums 24.6 and also 26.1, highest in the month of July for Yokushiba. I think that's how you pronounce it. So interesting stuff. Expecting temperatures close to 50 in Turfan in northern portions of China in the coming days. There's that record-breaking cool temperatures across parts of South Africa. Of course, we do have still, despite plenty of heat, either in the oceans or indeed in the on land, we still have plenty of cool conditions in parts of the world. But like I said before, there's no getting away from the fact that things are quite warm at the moment. But you would expect to see that at this time of the year, of course. So this is the GFS. This is the 500 millibar geopotential height anomaly. So you can see one common denominator. That area of troughiness is not wanting to go anywhere anytime soon. It looks as if, on the whole, it's going to linger. It's going to rotate. It's going to stay anchored close to our shores here in the UK, as well as Ireland and northwestern Europe, through the majority of the rest of July, folks. We've got that kind of positive to the North Atlantic up towards Greenland, and that trough is kind of stuck, anchored in place with areas of low pressure rotating within that trough overall here. So you see the overall idea that we've got going at the moment. This is the ECMWF weeklies This is the 2 meter temperature anomaly for the next 30 days. Now, this is, of course, taking us between Sunday the 9th of July and Tuesday the 8th of August. And you notice here that, yes, it's warmer than average over those warmer than average waters. But notice here that the majority of the UK, there's nowhere really across the UK or indeed Ireland that is above average for that next 30-day period, according to the ECMWF, which is quite interesting. Warmer than average over the near continent, as you can see here, cooler than average across Scandinavia. These are the current temperatures over Europe, very hot across Spain, Portugal, France, and relatively warm across the southeast, but nothing really that much above the average for this time of the year. Very warm across the southeast, very hot in the very eastern fringes, as you can see here, but relatively fresh across northwestern Russia, as you can see here, warm across Scandinavia, warm across central and southern portions of Europe. We could really jack up the temperature in the next few days, by the way. We'll look at that in a second if I have time, because I almost always run out of time these days, which is a little bit frustrating, but there's a lot of things to cover. Upcoming 5 days off the GFS ensemble looks like this here. This is the 6 to 10. That's cool, isn't it? And this is the 11 to 15. Wow, look at that there. This is taking us out to the 25th of July, as you can see here. Lots of rain to come over the next couple of weeks, as you can see off the GFS. This is total accumulated rainfall. You can see here over the UK, Ireland, Northern Europe, over the Alpine region, dry, and of course, where you're dry, you fry. So Portugal, Spain, as you would expect, as per the forecast that I have, of course, released already. This is the 850 temperatures here, and you can see that looks as if we are going to see some very hot conditions across Iberia. We could be knocking the door of the mid-40s, but we'll wait and see what happens, because the models do tend to overcook temperatures. If you've noticed here over recent times, it can sometimes show these upper 40s, and it just doesn't get there. But you notice here with low pressure spinning always close by, it almost always deflects that heat to the south and to the east of the UK and Ireland here. So you notice here as we play through this, you notice that, yeah, we may get a couple of teases with low pressure, possibly shifting a little bit to the west of the UK. That then opens the door, a possibility of seeing something a little bit warmer coming up from the south. But you notice here it's very quickly battered away by that low and a frontal system moving through. So it looks as if we just have a very hard time this July getting into any true appreciable heat. This pattern is definitely very different to what was seen back in the month of June. And of course, you had a lot of longer term model runs indicating that we were going to start to see some very hot conditions developing over the month of June and July. That is not the case, and that is what the forecast has said for quite some time. Now, the GFS for this afternoon shows a 45 Celsius over Spain. I don't think we're going to get there, but you notice day by day we get into the low 40s on the models here. So really, is it entirely unusual for this time of the year in Spain, Portugal, the Balearics? We could approach 40 Celsius in the Balearics in the next few days. So it will be hot, but it's nothing completely out of the ordinary for this time of the year. So anyway, that's it for today. Do appreciate it if you have hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you again tomorrow with plenty more weather content. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you again tomorrow. Bye for now.